Hi, everybody outside of NRG Stadium. Randy and Wex with you. Another productive day here at the stadium. Post 48 hours after the season ends. Yesterday was Rick Smith. Today, Bill O'Brien's turn. And we didn't learn about specifics on an extension. We do know, though, talks are ongoing, and he called those productive talks as they work on that and work on getting a GM here.
Yeah, productive. That's the word of the day. It's very vague, it's very cloudy, it's very gray, and that's what you leave this situation with, and that's how Bill O'Brien continued to answer the questions about his future and really the direction of the team when it comes to personnel and how they decide to move forward. Obviously, a GM is going to be in place. I think we can say that with interviews being granted for certain personnel people around the league, some of which have got ties to the Texans, and where they want to move forward. The likelihood is, we're guessing based on the answers we have and the people that we've talked to, is extension talks are ongoing. You're not going to want a head coach going into his final season needing to make changes on the coaching staff. He did acknowledge that both Sean Ryan and Mike Vrabel are going to get coaching opportunities elsewhere. The Browns with Sean Ryan, the Lions and Colts interested in Mike Vrabel. So changes to the coaching staff are also obvious, and they will need to make their own changes. He addressed one of those with the special teams, didn't say what was going to happen, other than they must get better, and that's 2 years in a row with the same coach. I think we can understand what's happening there.
Well, that's another key too. You've got guys. I mean, if you're not under contract, you have no extension in place. It would be hard to bring in coaches to join your staff, not knowing what your future is going to be. I think there's going to be a deal done. I think behind the scenes they are progressing, and I think he wants to be on the same page with whoever this general manager hire is going to be, philosophy-wise, and as he named it today, across the board, on and off the field. You got to be in alignment with whoever's in charge. I asked him about this, what he's learned about the dynamic of a head coach and GM relationship over the last 4 years, and he basically said, got to be communication. So it led me to believe there wasn't enough of that, although he said they did speak daily.
Right. That's the thing he would always acknowledge, even over these 4 years with Rick Smith. They talked all the time. They were in communication. But the idea that they both saw things the same way clearly was where there was some divergence, and I think that's what he and the McNairs continue to talk about. And keep in mind, he's in those talks. He's talking with McNair. And as was discussed today, he's got a lot more time here since the season ended to spend time with them and convey more of his vision for that. Right. What do they need on the field? What type of players do they need in the event there are a rash of injuries, which there were this year? Said citing injuries is the reason they are where they are is not a very good statement to make. He clearly doesn't like where the roster is.
Got to build depth.
Got to build depth, but you also have to, the core of players, very good. He said he didn't want to run through all the names. We know all the names, and we do, and it does start with Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless, all of whom were off the field when the season ended because of injuries. But, the question I asked him was strictly on that point. All his years now as a head coach at this level and all the time he spent looking at what is on the field, how clear is his vision on what the roster should look like? Because if there's going to be alignment, his say in what players are brought in and put on this team, that's where I think we're headed, and that's why I think the GM, Bill O'Brien, and the McNairs, they're all going to be much more on the same page. And yes, Bill O'Brien's future is here, even though he wouldn't flat out say, I am the coach here next season. He said he won't resign a couple weeks ago. He's under contract. The best we got from him today is he expects, I really hope to be here. I really expect to be here. He's going to be here. And again, those talks are a lot about his extension and just getting the alignment in place.
All right, we'll see how long it takes to get this done. Things move quickly once you're in the NFL offseason. Texans are in that right now. We'll keep you updated. Adam Wexler, Randy McIlvoy outside of NRG Stadium for ClickToHouston.com.